Have you ever thought about online therapy, but you weren't sure if it was the right option for you? Well, stay tuned because that's what I'm here to discuss in today's video. The benefits and challenges of online therapy, who online therapy is best suited for, what you can expect from an online therapist and therapy session, and how to determine if it's the right fit for you. Hi, I'm Jordan Travers. I'm a licensed clinical psychotherapist and the clinical director of Awake Therapy. If you're interested in learning more about me and the Awake Therapy team, you can click on the link in the description box to learn more about us or to book a free initial consultation. Okay, so let's jump right into it. Online therapy is just what it sounds like. It's accessing therapeutic services online through your phone or computer with a private practice therapist or with a therapy platform. And it has become incredibly popular since the COVID-19 pandemic. Here are some of the reasons why. It's convenient. It allows patients to book a session and to speak to a therapist without having to worry about getting in the car, navigating traffic, and rushing to and from a location. It's often cheaper than seeing a therapist in person, or at least it should be. It's easier to access if you live in an area with limited therapeutic resources, or if there's a waiting list to be seen by a therapeutic provider. Many patients report an increased feeling of safety, being able to speak to their therapist in the comfort of their home or office versus an unknown space. And research to date has shown it to be just as effective as traditional therapy. However, online therapy might not be the right fit for you, and here are some of the reasons why. It's not the best mode of treatment for high acuity patients or for people who have difficulty managing their mental health symptoms without a team and resources already in place. It's not ideal for patients with a history of self-harming behaviors, as the therapist is limited in how he or she can respond to a crisis situation. If you're actively psychotic or have a history of experiencing hallucinations, paranoia, or delusions, online therapy is likely not the best fit. And it may not be the best option if you have an unstable internet connection or if you aren't comfortable with technology. And sometimes it's not the best option if you're looking for therapy to be covered by insurance, because not all insurance companies will cover online therapy services or accept a reimbursement bill from an out-of-network provider. So you might be wondering, how do you make the most of an online therapy experience? Well, whether you've tried therapy before or you are courageously booking your first session, here are 2 of my favorite tips to keep in mind to make it a positive experience. First, schedule and plan for therapy accordingly. You don't want to be interrupted or have a desire to simultaneously multitask. And 2, recognize that things might feel weird or awkward at first, which is normal. The first session or 2 is getting to know your therapist and establishing rapport, which is what you would do in a traditional therapeutic setting. My clinical recommendation for all new clients is to give it a fair shot, which is 1 session per week for about 4 to 6 weeks, and then to reassess at that time. Starting therapy isn't a life sentence, but you have to give yourself time to develop a therapeutic relationship with your provider. Remember, we all have things we can work on as individuals, and online therapy is a great place to do it. And the best way to tell if an online therapy platform or provider is right for you is to give it a try. It's safe, convenient, private, and naturally socially distanced. But how do you know which platform and provider are right for you? Well, that depends. But I'll give you my personal opinion on the matter. Although keep in mind, this is a biased perspective as I am the clinical director at Awake Therapy. First, I would like to say that there's rarely a reason to spend more than $100 per session. If your online therapy sessions are costing you more than that, you might want to find a more affordable service. That said, a great therapist is worth his or her weight in gold. So it's also important to view therapy as an investment in yourself that pays dividends in many ways, through better relationships with friends and family, less anxiety, more happiness, and more cycle. The other thing I would mention is to avoid using a platform that locks you into a monthly or annual membership. It's better to find a service that offers a single pay option. Why? Well, it has to do with the way mental health care is best delivered. I've found in my clinical experience that clients' mental health needs come in waves. For instance, I might have a client who is having a really difficult week and needs to have 2 or 3 sessions with me in a given 7-day period. Then things might subside and I don't hear from the client for a couple of weeks or even maybe months. This is very common, which is why we at Awake Therapy advocate for a pay-as-you-go approach. We charge $40 per half-hour session and $80 per hour with no recurring payment, and you can book as much or as little in a given time period as you'd like. This is something to keep an eye out for when identifying the best mental health care service for you. I hope you found this video helpful and informative. As always, remember that the content addressed in these videos is for psychoeducational purposes only. It is not meant to serve as a replacement for individualized psychotherapy. If you are in need of mental health assistance to address an existing issue or to create a more prosperous and fulfilling life, you can schedule an appointment by following the link in the description. I look forward to speaking with you soon.